Cassidy's a guy who wants to prove he's innocent. And that drive is what's driven him to the edge. He's going to do whatever it can, and as an actor, being in the actual location really helps. You don't need to act, to be honest. I think you just try not to fall off.
One of the great challenges of the movie was trying to imagine how we're going to actually accomplish this. And let you, the viewer, feel like you are standing on that ledge.
How can we tell the story of a man on a ledge cinematically and be able to show it with such a vibrancy in the camera work that it actually doesn't just fall flat against that wall? You know, that was a huge challenge.
There's a lot of other things that happen in the story, but when you come back on that ledge, you need to feel the danger viscerally as an audience member, and you also need to think that he might actually go.
I'm ready to die.
First team rehearsal, here it is.
In our early conversations, it was always meant to be a stage setup.
Mr. Walker, look at me, I love you!
Definitely green screen. We'd shoot on the stage and maybe grab a couple pieces up there, but that just wasn't going to capture the reality of it. I mean, the moving cars below, moving people below, that sort of incalculable feeling that you're actually there.
It was about the crowds, it was about people connecting with Nick and him using all of the city and the people that are rooting for him.
Hey, Nick, we got you, man!
The cops involved, and especially Lydia the negotiator, it's all one sort of mechanism that he's controlling, sort of like a conductor. So to be out there and actually be able to really connect him to the world around him and have it feel real, it obviously gives us an edge.
All right, we're getting ready to go here. We're gonna launch our adventure for the day.
I love the fact that he's on a ledge. That he's literally on the ledge is terrifying.
We decided that the actors needed to feel the height. We kept saying, well, we got to find a way to do it, but none of us really had a great sense of it. Our production designer is the one who first said, listen, we can do this.
One of the first things I did when I got here, I probably walked 40 miles all over Manhattan and took pictures of any building that had a ledge that you could theoretically get out onto from a window.
We had to find an old building, probably a 40s or earlier built kind of structure for it.
The first challenge for us was deciding the height of the ledge.
Some people wanted it lower, so he could actually have more direct interaction with the crowd. Some people said, no, it has to be a lot higher, or else the danger isn't enough.
Action!
Also within the constraints of airbags that the police use and all that stuff, because at a certain height they're useless.
When you got higher than about 25 stories, it became a speck.
You lose perspective. You couldn't even yell to somebody that far down. They wouldn't see you or hear you clearly.
15th became just barely doable for feeling the danger. You looking up and seeing somebody poke their head out and think, they're a long way up. It really should be between 18 and 22. There are two places in New York that have buildings that feel like they're grand old hotels that would be a jewel in Englander's crown to own and to run, but also had ledges, had the right kind of architecture, were in the right place where there's enough density below and of buildings around. Those hotels exist around Grand Central and Penn Station, and they were all built about the same time. It's almost a history of New York Jazz Age hotels.
The Roosevelt Hotel is a legendary old hotel. They were very film friendly.
Alec found this completely insane way to design a skybox that could mock for the 21st story of the Roosevelt.
We had the idea of basically building a room and a ledge on an existing roof and using the cornice of that building as our actual ledge.
So here's the hotel roof, right? We built a room on top of it, pull it back a little, that creates a ledge, right? It was on track, so the whole room could actually slide back.
When we were done or when we needed to work on it, we could shift it back on a rail system and then work around the front. We could have access to it without everybody being strapped in. We could do touch-up paint. We could even have the actor in front of it, and he could act without danger of falling off.
We wanted it to feel real, so that's why we built it real, and we had to go out there on the ledge for real, and it feels real. When you watch it, it hits you.
What drew me to the movie is this one little gimmick of a guy just standing there 200 feet in the air, because no matter how much you throw a camera on it, an audience is always going to go with you. A sense of vertigo comes with the way they're throwing the cameras around.
What we were hoping for was the sense that you could never lose sight of the height. You can always feel that you're on that sense of the edge. At the same time, not be so static, which is weird because the guy is standing still.
Paul Cameron, the DP, was just amazing. I mean, he had a lot of energy and a lot of exciting different shots that he wanted to get.
A very kind of hands-on approach. I mean, he actually got out on the ledge and was shooting handheld, being held by a grip, as Sam was there acting.
We had one crane on the very top of the Roosevelt that was over top of everything that was swinging out all the way across the street. It was like a 75, 85-foot arm, essentially, that would go out. That was pretty amazing. Then we had another crane just to the side of the skybox. So we were able to get stuff from way overhead, and then also right alongside the skybox, we had a crane that was arming out. So we got some great moves with that.
The engineers are the unsung heroes here, because they had to figure out the weight ratios, how do you tie it down, and put a crane out over that. That was an amazing piece of work.
Keep it together.
You're looking down 220 plus feet straight down. The ledge is not that wide. Your knees get a little weak.
You can almost like sense it in the pores, the real fear and the real nerves. My legs still do a dance, and my stomachs get butterflies. My mate reckons I didn't read the script correctly. I think he's right. I forgot you had to be up 200 feet. Yeah.
When Sam agreed to do it, he didn't tell us that he was afraid of heights. Then he told us, and we were like, "Are you really think you can do this then?" And he said, "Absolutely."
You go out on the ledge and it's 200 feet up, so for the first couple of days out there, your experiences are real and they don't go away. The fear doesn't go away, so you just kind of tap into it and it helps the scenes roll.
Here we go, guys.
It pretty much becomes your own domain.
Sam, you want a test run or are you all good?
Let's go for it.
All right, buddy. Pictures up.
Marker?
You gotta be kidding me. The first day that I got up there, the stunt guys asked me if I wanted to walk out and sort of experience it. I don't make a mess. Yeah. Well, of course, I wanted to check it out. So they strap you in and send you around the edge with one of the guys, and I have to admit, it was so terrifying.
Your back of your legs start twitching and your mind's reeling and you're like, okay. It was really, really scary, and you felt that height, every inch of it.
Hey, partner, you gonna jump or what? I went out on the ledge, yes. I wouldn't go back.
I had this idea that it would actually be a lot wider.
It's definitely a small space. I mean, even when when you think about a ledge, it's like, okay, it's not going to be too bad. But I mean, he's literally out there. It's one false move and that's it.
I think we're very lucky that we had somebody who didn't have like a panic attack out there.
The longer you're out there, it's more like being at sea. You get kind of height vertigo legs, I suppose, and then so after about 25 minutes or half an hour, you come in, and to be on solid ground relaxes your adrenaline and relaxes your head.
Definitely makes acting easy. Because the fear is real.
You can't fully succumb to the feeling of it, otherwise you'll never get anything done. So you've got to battle through it.
I was really excited to get out there. You can't process that too much when you really can't. When I see the photos of it and I see that we're literally being held up by like a little piece of string, you can't think about it too much or you wouldn't be able to get out there. But the adrenaline rush totally fed me. I thought it was really fun.
Hanging 17 stories off a ledge less than 2 feet wide was pretty exhilarating.
We had to shoot sort of photographs from the 17th floor. I let him do that one.
Me do that.
It's interesting because you're hooked in, we're doing everything you can do to be safe, but your rational mind is saying, okay, I'm safe. Your primitive mind is going, I'm on a ledge, get the hell off.
And cut!
Cut!
Brilliant. Let's do some handheld stuff.
Are you happy there?
Yep.
We were able to really get out there and interact with people down on the street and see the traffic going and, buses running right under us and the whole 9 yards. I mean, it was great.
Ultimately, we were surprised how much of the movie we could actually shoot up there. There was no way to shoot all of it.
And set.
Action.
Really, the idea was shoot it all out on the ledge, and then go into the stage, and we'll just do the stage for some of the back and forth dialogue where we get the real close-ups.
We wanted to kind of pepper the movie with some shots that were specific, that were directed in a certain way, that was difficult to control when you're up there because it was dangerous. The day was very short. That's where the stage work comes in.
And action!
I had sleepless nights over it, not knowing how much it would actually translate to the stage set, but knowing Sam and knowing that he's got this like unique, it's almost like a neurological memory of his past movements and emotions.
We went to the ledge first so that he could incorporate that feeling, and he brought it with him to the stage.
You're basically just transferring what you learnt there and using that as reference to kind of, create the world here. So, that's pretty easy.
It was flabbergasting to me how it actually translated straight back into the stage, like we were still out there on the 21st floor.
Up there when it's 200 feet, it is what it is. You don't kind of hide it and pretend that the feeling of being up that high is real, because you are real.
Just see that one. How does it smell?
The backdrop here, that's amazing, because when you're standing here doing the scenes, continually affects me and compels me. I love it.
Hey, what are you doing? No. Hey, look at me. Look at me.
Our production designer has done an awesome job of matching these two realities.
So we had 3 different versions of basically the same thing. And so not only did all 3 of those have to match, they had to match scenically and architecturally to each other perfectly, because we'll be cutting from one to the other, but all of those materials and textures and finishes had to match the existing Roosevelt Hotel that we were putting it in top of, so it was a seamless transition from real building to set to digital extension off the set.
We needed to do set extension to replace all the stuff that was supposed to be there, the quote ledge. Well, that was really the roof line of the current Roosevelt. What that meant was it didn't go all the way up to a roof because we had to put all the speed rail and the safety line. We also had to come around the side of it because we're missing the side face because we're looking south. We had those roof lines. We didn't actually have continued floor of building, so we had to do extension of that.
Time is running out here, Nick.
For the shots where we're actually out on the ledge and we're shooting down, we had to look at what the crowd was. Sometimes there was crews in the crowd or something that we needed to get rid of. Some of the little fixes that we did were making sure that the crowd consistency was the same throughout the day. Because as we cut in the footage, sometimes we'd use a shot that was from a slightly different time of the day, or maybe extras looked a little different. We did need to create some shots while we were there on stage, and so what we did was throw down some green screen on the floor so we'd be able to build the buildings all the way to the ground and then create the ground down below with the people walking. So then it wasn't just crowd enhancement and replacing the cars, but actually putting everything down there. The SWAT team takedown was a mix. There was some stuff on the stunt wall, there was some stuff on the stage, and there was some on location. But a lot of it was done on the stage. That was also some of the work that we had to go with on the fly. We sort of knew what the quote hero shots were, but we didn't know how far they were going to want to push it.
Our job really is to make sure that nobody, in this particular type of movie, nobody realizes that it's not real.
Well, it's high, and you can't help but feel that.
Well, the mere idea that we actually built this room on the roof of a hotel in Midtown Manhattan and shot down Madison Avenue and 45th Street was a crazy notion. I couldn't believe it.
We took a lot of time and care to make sure that people had that experience and really understood that we were out there with the city below us. I want everyone to get that sense of danger and that sense of time is running out for everybody.
It's like falling in love. People can tell you what it's like, but until you do it yourself, it's too hard to imagine.
The world of the movie has always been New York City, that corner of Madison and 45th.
Looking back, we made the right choices. I think at the time we didn't know we were making the right choices, and it's one of the exciting things about filmmaking. There are moments in time where you're stepping off your own kind of ledge at that moment, and you hope there's a net underneath you.
So one way or another.
Nick! No!
Hey, look, see, that's what you want.
Okay, that's it.